A second stimulus package still has not been approved yet, so many Americans are still struggling financially because of the pandemic. A major expense for most people is their rent payment. Mara Siriani is looking at a sweeping new measure from the CDC that's designed to help keep people from losing their homes.
The White House says the CDC will ban most evictions through the end of the year. This is all part of President Trump's new executive order. The order says the CDC will use its power under federal law to prevent any landlord who has the legal right to evict a tenant from doing so to help prevent the spread of the virus. The order also provides assistance to property owners as well as tenants. But to be covered, you have to meet 4 criteria. First, you must have an income of $198,000 or less for couples filing jointly, or $99,000 for single filers. They must also demonstrate they have sought government assistance to make rental payments, prove they are unable to pay rent because of COVID-19 hardships, and affirm they are likely to become homeless if evicted. Now, as of now, rent is still due after the new year, but in the meantime, this will help millions of struggling Americans pay their rent.